higher than it is, Kaya. That's the truth of it, is that you have over the last 18 months, not only the wealthiest, most well-funded, but also the most well-informed traders on the planet accumulating.
In a recent interview, Andy Schectman shared his perspective on the current state of the gold market and its potential for significant growth. He explained how central banks worldwide have been accumulating gold at unprecedented levels over the past 18 months, indicating a growing recognition of gold's value as an asset. Andy emphasizes that the Bank of International Settlements reclassification of gold as a Tier 1 reserve asset in 2019 signifies its importance, challenging the historical dominance of the US dollar and US Treasuries in this category. Despite these compelling reasons, Andy believes that the price of gold remains lower than it should be, mainly due to Western powers' ability to control the narrative and maintain the status quo in the market. He also highlights how gold has hit all-time high against major currencies like the Chinese yuan and Japanese yen, potentially signaling a shift in the global market dynamics. In this video, we're going to dive deep into what this means for you and why it's time for you to seize this opportunity and make a bold move towards securing your financial future. Let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about the current price of gold. It's been hitting resistance levels at around $1990, and that's got people buzzing. Gold is often seen as a safe haven, and its price is influenced by various factors including economic conditions and geopolitical tensions. Now, Andy Schectman, a gold guru, believes that the price of gold should be way higher than it currently is, given the state of the world. Let's dive deeper into Andy Schectman's belief because it's a game changer. You see, he's not just talking numbers, he's talking about the true value of gold in our ever-evolving world. According to Schectman, the current market price doesn't do justice to gold's worth. He's got some rock-solid reasons for this belief, and it's going to make you rethink the way you look at gold. Now, what's interesting is that over the past 18 months, there's been a significant development. Central banks around the world have been accumulating gold at a rate we've never seen before. Andy Schectman points this out as a key factor supporting the current gold prices. This accumulation trend is truly unprecedented and hints at a massive shift in the global financial landscape. Now let's take a moment to ponder what this central bank gold accumulation means. You see, despite some attempts to suppress gold prices in the paper market, this phenomenon underscores the significant role that gold plays in global finance. Even with all the shenanigans in the market, these central banks are steadily building their gold reserves. It's like they're preparing for something significant on the horizon. You know, gold's always been seen as a store of value, but it gained even more recognition when the Bank of International Settlements, or BIS, reclassified it as a Tier 1 reserve asset in 2019. This was a big deal. Historically, the primary Tier 1 reserve assets for central banks had been US dollars and US Treasuries. So the inclusion of gold in this category alongside these heavyweights emphasizes its importance on a global scale. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Gold isn't just making waves in the financial world. It's hitting all-time highs against major currencies like the Chinese yuan and Japanese yen. Think about what that means for a second. When gold is reaching new heights against these strong currencies, it's sending a powerful message. Now let's talk about de-dollarization, a term you might have heard before. You see, it's all about the US dollar's role in international trade and how some key players on the global stage are making moves to change the game. Countries like India, China, Brazil, and Malaysia are stepping up their efforts to reduce their reliance on the dollar, and that's causing a shift in the global financial system that's hard to ignore. So what exactly is de-dollarization? Well, it's a movement where countries are trying to minimize the US dollar's influence in international trade. They're looking to create trade channels using currencies other than the almighty dollar. This is a clear sign that the dollar's dominance might be on the decline. And why is that important? Because the dollar has been the go-to currency for international trade for a very long time, and any shift away from it can have massive implications. Now this is where it gets really fascinating. Andy Schectman has a vision of gold playing a pivotal role in shaping this new financial system. You heard that right. Gold, the good of shiny stuff. Andy believes that gold can be a cornerstone in the evolving financial landscape, and he's got some strong reasons to back it up. He is seeing the big picture, recognizing that the world is changing, and gold could be at the center of it. But that's not all. The BRICS states, which include major players like Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are making waves with their plan to launch a gold-backed currency. Now that's a game changer. If they pull this off, it could potentially threaten the dominance of the US dollar and the euro in the global market. Think about it. A gold-backed currency that's backed by some of the world's largest economies. That's a powerful move. Now let's talk about a topic that's been raising eyebrows: vulnerabilities within the banking system. And to help us navigate through this, we'll take a closer look at the real-life example involving one of the big players, Bank of America. So, why are we talking about banking system vulnerabilities? Well, it turns out one of the giants in the banking world, Bank of America, has some unrealized losses that are turning heads. In the third quarter, they reported unrealized losses of a whopping $131.6 billion on securities held until maturity. Now, if that doesn't raise questions, I don't know what will. This, according to Andy, was an increase from nearly $106 billion in paper losses in the second quarter. The big question is, what could these massive unrealized losses mean for the banking system and the broader economy? When a financial institution as significant as Bank of America is sitting on unrealized losses of this magnitude, it's a cause for concern. These losses could have a ripple effect, impacting not only the bank itself but also its investors and the stability of the financial system. Now let's take it a step further and speculate a bit. Could banks be shorting gold and silver to boost the perception of the US dollar's strength? This is where things get intriguing. Andy Schectman brings up the possibility that banks might be taking positions that artificially influence the price of precious metals. This could be a strategy to make the US dollar and the Western financial system appear stronger than they actually are. It's a clever way of manipulating perception, and it's something we should all be aware of. Now let's explore the exciting future of gold. What's driving its expected rise and the changing role it's set to play? So what's in store for gold? Well, there are a few key factors at play. Central banks have been quietly accumulating gold over the past 18 months, which indicates that gold is increasingly seen as a vital asset in the financial world. This accumulation, coupled with efforts to suppress its prices in the paper market, has set the stage for gold to continue its upward trajectory. Reduced volatility in gold is another noteworthy factor. In fact, it's currently lower than that of US Treasuries, a rare occurrence over the past 50 years. Now let's ponder the future of gold's price and role in the evolving global financial landscape. The ongoing accumulation of gold by central banks is one of the driving forces behind its anticipated rise. But it's not just about the price, it's about the role that gold is poised to take on. The world is seeing a shift away from the US dollar as the primary settlement currency. Countries like India, China, Brazil, and Malaysia are exploring trade channels using currencies other than the dollar. What's even more intriguing is the plan by BRICS states to launch a gold-backed currency, which could potentially challenge the dominance of the dollar and the euro. Gold's future looks promising, driven by central bank accumulation and reduced volatility. It's not just about price. It's about the role gold is playing in the changing dynamics of global finance. This opens up new opportunities for investors. If you're looking to diversify your portfolio or explore the world of precious metals, gold may be an exciting avenue to consider. If you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and watch this one as well.